Today's America consumes millions of animal products, let alone animal meat in general, and not one person questions where this meat came from. Nearly 90% of farm animals are raised on factory farms where they are constantly fattened, abused, and live a horrible life. Most farm animals are dying on their way to the slaughterhouses, but factory farms still make a profit as long as the animal is still alive when it reaches the slaughterhouse. Imagine if you were a young piglet and you were taken away from your parents. Your ears are mutilated, and a couple of your teeth are ripped out. Your tail gets cut off, and if you are a male, humans castrated you, and all of this without any painkillers. Then you were either put in crowded pens or tiny stalls with no room to move and constantly fattened as well as drugged to rush your growth. You have no clue what is going on, always being beaten with gate rods, and if you were far behind, which is a pig that's not growing, you were grabbed from your hind feet and smashed head first into the floor until you were dead. You can't walk normally from having weak bones for your adult-looking body, and you get your first breath of fresh air on the truck taking you to the slaughterhouse, where you'll either die on the ride there or nearly be dead when you reach your destination. This is an ongoing process with generations of pigs, which only get to live an actual fraction of their lifespan. But still, cows, chickens, ducks, fish, and turkeys have not yet been mentioned in this example, so imagine all the sorrowful pain in the whole factory farm altogether. Ladies and gentlemen, as you should have figured out by now, farm animals are not raised as we are led to believe from fairy tales. First, I will briefly mention the abuse of animals. Secondly, I will inform you of the unnecessary actions toward farm animals. Lastly, I will show you the importance of any farm animal safety. To begin, as you all know, a farm animal's life is only a fraction of its actual lifespan, and it is mistreated and exploited while it is still alive. All farm animals are slaughtered no matter what. If it's a milk cow or an egg hen, they will eventually get old and be taken to the slaughterhouse. All young farm animals are castrated if they are males. If they're cattle, they get their horns cut off and they are branded several times. Turkeys get their beaks and toes burned off with hot blades. All animals in one way or another are beaten on an everyday basis. In addition to having cramped living spaces and being deprived of simple pleasures such as sunbathing and caring for their young, most factory farms feed their animals growth drugs and place them in tiny cages, even when they reach their adult forms. Instead of taking proper care like a responsible person would, factory farms are more infatuated with the profit they make. The farm animals' lives are very stressful, and some pigs even go insane because a grown pig's intelligence surpasses the intelligence of a 3-year-old human child's. Chickens are as intelligent as cats, dogs, or even possibly primates. They are the #1 most consumed animal on this planet. These animals, like many pets we humans keep, can be compassionate, but go through horrible treatment and exploitation on a daily basis. Not to mention, they are prevented to do what is natural to them. Secondly, the life of a farm animal is harsh, and they are all treated really horribly, but it's all unnecessary. Farm animals should not be beaten when they're being moved around. The animals are so scared they would most likely willingly cooperate. The stalls or the cramped cages could be replaced with the great outdoors. It's not like you need more buildings to raise more animals, and the food would probably grow outside anyways. The constant branding of cattle is totally unnecessary. One is all a farmer needs. The constant beating of farm animals and the use of taser rods is abuse, and it's not one reason behind committing such an act. The use of growth drugs, yet the absence of painkillers, is truly a crime, for the farmers can afford the painful force of growth, yet allow these animals to suffer from unbearable pain. The ways turkeys have their toes and beaks burned off, and like every other farm animal, suffer from weak bodies due to the rapid body growth and become crippled, or even worse, suffer from heart failure. The ways farm animals are treated and the way factory farms work are all questionable because the most inhumane procedures have no reason behind them. Last if not least, most would say, "You're just nuts. What about the animal, as long as the creature is still edible?" Yet no one considers the animal's diseases, for the drugs it consumes and how it affects us humans as we regularly eat its meat. Farm animals with blisters that are limping, and even animals with cancerous and pus-filled wounds, still pass as USDA pure. Most people never wonder what the animals are breathing in, and when they take their deep breaths, what is that they're inhaling. It is not fresh air. Believe it or not, the animals are breathing in pure ammonia. Beaten animals suffer from dangerous wounds, and we are regularly eating this tainted meat. Knowing everything mentioned in this speech, it is no surprise such thing as mad cow disease came into existence. People are eating these things, and if you currently look around, especially in America, the drugs have taken effect on people. There are 14-year-olds, which look like grown adults. Women have been affected by breast sizes, enlargement drugs from the chicken, and many more symptoms are yet to come by people who regularly consume meat. In conclusion, the abuse of animals in farms is wrong and truly affects today's society, because the only action to take was to become a vegetarian, because abusive routines and non-stop beating and pain were for all those slices of meat on your dinner table. Factory farms were never going to change. They were making too much profit to care. But now, in the year of 2008, citizens of America have voted yes on Prop 2, which will now provide laws protecting farm animals. Proposition 2 will allow animals freedom and provide a bearable life before farm animals are taken to the slaughterhouse. In order to keep Proposition 2 as it is and prevent the abuse of animals from now on, we must remember the reason why it exists in the first place and continue to prevent farm animals abuse for the farm animals' well-being as well as our own.